welcome back to my channel. Today's video is I have planned to film a reading vlog because yeah, I'm back home, so I thought filming reading vlogs and getting more comfortable with filming some vlogs here this summer would be great. Also, it is the beginning of Pride Month, so I thought I would share some books on my TBR for the month of June and start reading some with you because I just kind of want to film my reaction to reading these since these are very hyped up books. But yeah, that's pretty much, I'm back in New York City and I don't know how these vlogs are gonna go yet because I'm very used to vlogging on the weekends because I had to abide by like a school schedule, so I only had time to film on the weekends, but it is Thursday now and I'm starting this vlog, so I don't know how it's gonna go yet. Also, you might see my family because we're all kind of in lockdown right now. I don't know. We're all still taking school from home. I'm taking summer classes this summer, but remotely, and I have a remote internship. So yeah, before we get into the video, this video, I'm partnering with TIJN Eyewear, and I've worked with them before on Instagram, but they reached out and wanted to send me some new frames to do a YouTube partnership, so I thought that was super cool and I'm super excited. I love talking about brands that I like love myself. I don't really take on like partnerships of brands either that I'm not like interested in or I haven't already tried. But for the last year, I think I got my first pair of TIJN glasses when I was in quarantine, and I was super excited. Even though no one could see me, I was kind of just excited about glasses in general. So these are my first frame from TIJN. They are the Henk glasses frame. This is like one of their most popular frames, and I understand why. This was my favorite glasses ever, and this is prescription. But they sent over 2 new ones to share so I can show you guys, and I love new glasses. They make me so excited. TIJN is a prescription or non-prescription and just eyewear company. They have such trendy, affordable styles, and then you can get them in your prescription, and it's just also beautiful. They're just super popular and I just see it everywhere. So the ones that I have are, and I'll do little close-ups, is the maaike, I think it's pronounced maaike, the maaike frame. These are a lot bigger and it's a tortoise shell kind of frame, but I really like these, and I changed my prescription recently, so I had to get new glasses, so it was awesome that they came in clutch. And then the second pair that I have, and it comes in these beautiful, they all come with like their own cases, and they come with like a glasses wipe, which I really love too. But the second frame that I got is actually a pair of sunglasses because I don't have a pair of sunglasses. And these aren't prescription, but they're just sunglasses. If I go to the beach, like, I don't really need prescription. And they come in this like faux, I think it's like just velvet case. And then the frame that I got I basically got the Henk frame, the original frame that I had last year, in the sunglasses frame. So I got the same frame but in sunglasses, and I just love these. I love the way they look on my face, and it's just, their glasses are super high quality. I wear glasses every single day, right from when I wake up in the morning to right when I go to sleep at night, so I need my glasses to be with me. I wear them when I exercise, I wear them when I go out, and I need them to be of the highest quality and to just stick with me throughout the day. And TIJN has definitely hooked me up with some good frames. I survived almost an entire year with this one, and I'm sad that I can't be using it anymore since I changed prescription, but I'm excited to wear these. And I always get compliments on my glasses. I swear, every single time I go out, it's like someone's like, I love your glasses, and I wish I could just scream at them like, TIJN. But yeah, if you'd like to check out all their frames and styles, I will leave a link in my description box where you can start shopping for your frames. It's super easy and quick to put in your prescription as well. And yeah, that's the partner of today's video. Alright, enough chit chat. So the books that we're trying to read for this vlog, I am planning on reading One Last Stop by mcquiston. This has blown up. Like, it's everywhere on my Instagram feed. All my mutuals are talking about it. I think Casey is the author of Red, White, and Royal Blue, which I have not read, but I remember when that book came out, and I haven't read it yet. I just need to read it. But apparently this one is a sapphic romance that takes place in New York City. I love books that take place in New York City, and I'm excited for this one. And then The next two books that I want to read are actually, one's a reread, so I want to reread the Reign of the Fallen series by Sarah Glenn Marsh. I thought this was a perfect book, especially for Pride Month. It's one of the books that very much helped me come out as a bisexual, since our main character is a bisexual necromancer. So the first one is Reign of the Fallen by Sarah Glenn Marsh, and then I actually got sent the sequel. These came out in 2019, so they're pretty old, but the sequel is Song of the Dead, and I still haven't read the sequel, and I remember getting this and I just put it off for a while, so I thought I would reread the first book and then just read the second book for the first time. And I love this world. I don't really remember what it was about. It's like a fantasy necromancer world. It's very dark, with like, you know, like Living Dead something. But I really loved it, and it has a lot of queer rep, and I'm a fan of that. So these two books, but I'm going to start off with One Last Stop, so I will be starting with this book, and I'm excited for a rom-com, even though the weather is just the opposite of a rom-com mood. But yeah, that's what's going to be happening in this vlog, so I will keep you updated as I continue reading. Okay, taking a break from reading because I just got my Olive & June nail package. I ordered some nail polishes. I love Olive & June. I've been using them for almost like half a year now, and they're the only nail polishes that I use now because they're just such good quality. And then I also restocked in the glossy, this is the top coat. Their top coat is just so good. It makes it last so much longer. So this is the summer set. These colors are from the summer set that they just released. So they're brand new, they're super opaque, they look super vibrant, and then I also got some nail art stickers to do some nail art, and I thought it'd be really cute, so I'm going to be doing that. And then I just went to CVS to pick up some fake like nails because I don't like to ruin, I mean it does ruin my nails a little bit. My nails are crusty, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I actually am an Olive & June affiliate, so if you click on the link in my bio, I'll leave a link to where you can shop the nail polish sets, and if you use my code, which I'll leave on the screen right here, if you use my code, you can get 20% off any set from Olive & June, and this includes the summer set, so if you buy the summer set, it has to be a set though, you get 20% off any set. And yeah, the summer set I believe comes with stickers, so definitely check them out because they're my favorite, and I'll show you the nail creation after. Hello everyone, it is way later in the night and I actually got a ton of things done today. I'm really super proud. I was able to obviously do the whole thing. I was like really just focused on doing my nails today because I knew my Olive & June package was coming, but other than that I did some homework because I had homework. I did some content-y things, just like planning stuff happening during the week, and I have a pretty busy weekend, so I'm trying to figure that out. My anxiety's been pretty bad. Like there's just a pit at the back, at the bottom of my stomach, and I've just been high anxiety for the past few days, so I've just been like taking a lot of like self-care things, whether that's like, yes, doing my nails because that helps me calm down, and just like planning content, and reading is also one of them. Sometimes reading can be stressful, but this week reading has just been really nice, and especially this book. Oh, this book. I am now just like regretting that I did not read Red, White, and Royal Blue earlier because I had heard so much about it. I don't know why, I just didn't pick it up. I just like walked past it every time I went to the bookstore, but I'm glad that I didn't pass this one up. This is so good. Our main character is bisexual, and the love interest is actually Chinese American, which I didn't know about that. And also, prior to actually starting the book, I didn't read the synopsis, so I didn't know that there was like a magical realism element part of this, so reading that is a huge surprise. It's not a spoiler or anything, it's literally in the synopsis, but I didn't read the synopsis, so it was kind of a plot twist for me when I read it, because I'm pretty early, I'm 100 pages in, and they just mentioned the magical realism aspect, and I'm like, whoa, this book just got like a really awesome complex layer, even though it was already so good. Literally in the first few pages, like when we were meeting all the characters, like this is a rare time when I like the side characters more than I actually like the main narrator. Our narrator, I forgot her name is August, and my favorite characters are already, I love Jane, the love interest. I love August's roommates. Oh, all of them. Nico, the psychic. Everyone is top notch. The writing is hilariously funny. I almost like spit out my food. I was eating watermelon and I almost spit out my watermelon because of something that August said. August is also, I noticed that she's very self-deprecating. She just reminds me of myself so much that every time I'm reading this, it's a reminder of like, it's a slap in the face. It's like, this is you. Oh my god, like it's so good and I can't stop talking about it. But anyway, like I said, I'm really anxious right now, so I'm probably gonna not read anymore, and I'm just going to rest for the rest of the night, and then tomorrow I have my other stuff to deal with because I have class tomorrow morning, so I have to deal with that. But at least I finished all my homework and my work for before school. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I will update you when I read more. This is literally going to be a really fast update because I want to keep reading and I have not read the entire day. As you can see from my little montage, I was so busy. Fridays are always so busy because it's like I don't want to do work on the weekend, so I'm doing everything on Friday. But I did a little bit of everything. I was really productive. I felt really productive, and now I am just settling down with a book, and I'm probably just gonna read until I sleep and then update you tomorrow on what I've been reading. But so far I'm more than halfway through and I'm really enjoying it. I love the writing, and I think my favorite part is the characters so far. I just think they're so different and so well developed. Like, they all have their own little like histories and backgrounds and stories and family, and it's just it's so amazing. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. Excuse the background because I'm currently in my basement, since it's the only place in this house that is like actually cold without turning on the air conditioning. But it's a beautiful day out. I got to do some reading outside after going to brunch in the morning, and I finished one last stop, and I'm saying that like so kind of with like a sad mopey tone, because it's just, I'm like sad that I finished the book, and I haven't felt this way in so long, where I've genuinely felt like actually sad to let go of this world and these characters, because I so much wish I was living in this novel. But anyway, I finished one last stop, and this book, see, where do you even begin? I know in my reading vlogs, they're just so consistently like me not being able to explain my words after reading a book, but I'm literally like filming this fresh off of finishing this book. Like, I just read the acknowledgement. I always read the acknowledgements for every book I read. I just finished acknowledgements, and it's hard to actually form in words how good this book is. Like, and I think it made it better that the fact that I wasn't even expecting it, because I knew when Red, White, and Royal Blue came out, I think that's the name of Casey's first novel, I just wasn't that interested in it. I think this one I'm much more attracted to, since it is a sapphic romance, and it features a bisexual main character, and I just connected to it a lot more. I definitely connected to the main character so much. Like, gosh, like I can't think of another book that has a main character who just thinks literally the same way as me. I think she says this one line in this book, which I'll put like on the screen somewhere, but she says this one line in the book about like her anxiety, or about the way that she thinks about the world, and I was just like, how did you read my, like, how did you do that? And I just love when that happens, when like characters reflect so much of myself. But anyway, back to this book. I have not read many sapphic
romances or female romances I do read a lot of romance, but I haven't read many female romances. So this book, I really didn't know what to expect, and I just fell in love with the romance. Like, this is easily like the best romance that I've read in a romance novel, or just any novel that has romance in it. Just easily safe to say the best I've ever read. It's built on so much trust and love and friendship, and it just makes me fucking tear up thinking about it. Like, this is so beautiful. Like, this is what I fucking want. But anyway, this book also, I think another reason why I loved it so much is because I live in New York, but I've been leaving to go to school in Minnesota. So like, this was just like a love letter to New York. It was literally just like a love letter to New York, and talking so much about, like, not even in like the touristy way. It's like the most beautiful small moments. Like, obviously this book takes place on the subway, some of it, and it just captured the beauty and some things that you miss about the subway, because like, as a New Yorker, like, we love to shit on the subway all the time, but I think this book captured the beauty of the subway and like the things that can happen on the subway so well. It was just a love letter to New York, and I loved it for that aspect. What else can I say? This is all just coming fresh out of reading it, so maybe I'll update you guys later on when I start my next book. But what else was there? Oh, I really loved this. So obviously I said in one of the clips before that I wasn't expecting for there to be this magical realism, like time travel aspect, because one of the love interests in this book is from the 1970s, I believe. Yeah, she's from the 1970s, so there is a historical aspect that I like how the author just didn't like drop it in to make things interesting, and was like, here, let's like put some time travel in there, let's make it like, the author actually like reflected on how queer people were perceived in the 1970s and how that has changed over time. And it was just I wasn't expecting it. Like I said, like, I didn't even know what to expect from this book, but this is quite literally the best book I've read this entire year. And it was actually quite long. Like, I actually wasn't expecting myself to take this long to read this book, especially since it's a romance novel, and romance novels I go like quickly, but this took I think like 3 days to read, which it's fine. But overall, it was just, like I said, I didn't want it to end. I honestly wish it was longer. I hope there will be a sequel or just like a novella with these characters, because I am dying. But yes, if you have not read any of Casey McQuiston's books, or if you are just interested in checking out a book for Pride Month, I would highly recommend One Last Stop. This is definitely making my top tier favorites of all time, like romance books, but also like best books I've ever read in terms of like writing style, the characters, the plot line itself, and just there's also, it's so cool because this is so much based, it is like kind of like a time travel novel. There's so much like multimedia aspects in here. Like, there's text messages, there's like Twitter feeds, Reddit posts, all that, like Instagram posts, and I just thought that was so cool. Like, this book was already good enough without all of that going on, and then the author decides to put in like multimedia aspects, which really change up the reading format and just make it so much more interesting. And I'm like, gosh, like I am like, I'm not saying that I'm trying to write a book, but like, I'm a creative writing major, and every time I'm writing something, I always think about like the best reads I've ever read, and I'm like, how are these people so talented? Like, I can't even fathom it. Like, me sitting there on my computer, like writing my own story, I'm like, how does one person even just like write this like tome of magicalness? But anyway, those are my initial thoughts on One Last Stop. I am completely starstruck and just in love with this book so much. You probably won't hear me shut up about it on Twitter and Instagram. But yeah, I'm gonna read my second novel now. I'm gonna start it now a little bit before I go to dinner with my neighbors, and then I will catch you up when I'm reading that one.
friends, so I finished the 5-hour pre-licensing course. Yay, one step closer to getting that driver's license, which is one of my like summer bucket list items, is to get my driver's license. So I actually didn't plan on finishing the 5-hour course today. Like, I started it today, but I didn't plan on just like going through it and finishing it, since I started it at noon and it is like 6 p.m. now. So it took more than 5 hours, but that's just because I was stopping. But I definitely prefer this to going in person, to sit in like a room and there's like a teacher like talking, mostly because of my anxiety. I just can't do things in front of people when people are watching me, so I felt like if I had to do that, I would just be under more anxiety. And I loved doing it at home and just stopping when I wanted to, or when I felt like there was quizzes interspersed throughout this, and I was like kind of anxious because I am really bad at test taking or like choosing answers like in a set time. So anyway, I'm glad that's over with and done, and no more procrastinating as I usually do. But anyways, let's talk about another form of procrastination, which is reading. I am halfway through Reign of the Fallen by Sarah Glenn Marsh. This is the second book, and this is a reread for me. I read this first in 2018, so 3 years ago now, and I think I can't really tell. Oh wait, oh my gosh, wait, this is literally amazing, and you guys are discovering this with me as I am discovering this, not for the first time. I think, okay, so in the back of the book, so this is the arc, but I'll do a close-up, but in the back of the book there's actually a blurb by me. Oh yes, I remember. Oh my god, like there's just so many things coming right now that I just forgot about this book. I remembered that I read an early manuscript of this, and then I blurbed the arc. So it says, a new, intriguing, and diverse fantasy that needs to be on your list of must-reads. From Alex at the Books Buzz. I have since changed my blog name and my alias, and my name is no longer Alex, A-L-E-X, it's A-L-Y-X, which I go by. But yeah, anyways, as I was saying before that interrupted me, I literally just like looked in the back of the book and I saw my name and I'm like, what the hell? But anyways, so a little bit about this. So I don't really remember much from reading it 3 years ago, which is understandable. I barely remember my last reads. Like, why would I remember something that I read like 3 years ago? But I am really enjoying it. I think that's something that is just super important to me when I'm reading books, is like obviously the rep and like what kind of books am I reading, you know, whatever. But also like, am I enjoying the book? Does the book make me excited to pick it back up again? And I think this is definitely with one of those books, because I mean, it is just in essence like a really great fantasy read with a really interesting and unique world, and with great characters that actually make you excited to read the book. I always love when I connect to the characters in a fantasy novel, because that's when I'm invested to read more. I think for me, I'm a very much character-driven reader. I can't just it can't just depend on the world building and the magic system for me to keep reading. Like, as interested as I am about a world and about how it operates, I need to be hooked to one of the characters, whether it's the main character, could also be the side characters, but I just need to be invested in the characters' lives to keep reading. And I definitely think that's one of the reasons why I love this series, is because the magic system is really unique, but also the characters are just super great, and they're very complex, and you definitely see an arc throughout the story. As I'm halfway through and you're already seeing them go through so much pain, gosh. But I would highly recommend this if you are looking for a book with a bisexual main character and also other queer characters. This world itself is very inclusive, and it's funny because it's mentioned a lot that this world kind of rejects change, or like they look down upon change, but I think it's cool how they're so inclusive. But like for other things, like I think that's part of the reason why they have necromancers to bring back like the royals of this world, is because they are so kind of against change that they want to just bring the same people back into power in this world. It's just such a complex world, super interesting. I'd highly recommend it. It's an underrated read that I don't see enough people talking about on the channels and Bookstagram and everything. But I mean, I blurbed it 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, so I mean, it has to be good. I don't even remember the ending, but all I know is that I'm having a fantastic time, and I think the next time you'll see me is when I finish the book, because I plan on just finishing it. This vlog is already getting quite long, so I plan on just finishing it tonight and maybe posting my final thoughts in the morning. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So yeah.
Yay! I finally finished Reign of the Fallen. I am actually so happy because my goal was to finish it today, and I read I think like 200 pages in one day, in like a few hours, actually, pretty fast. It went pretty fast in the last couple hundred pages, but overall I loved it just as much as I read it the first time, if not even more, just because I was able to dig deeper into the story. And surprisingly, I know there were a lot of twists and turns to begin with, just because I did a little perusal on Goodreads, and a lot of people were saying like there's a lot of twists and turns, and I remembered it, but I couldn't actually remember the events of the story, like the plot twist and everything. So in my eyes, they were unpredictable and they were pretty good, but again, I'm not really good at predicting plot points in stories or like what's gonna happen, so don't take my word for it, but it is entertaining. Okay, but anyways, Reign of the Fallen basically follows our main character, Odessa, and she is a necromancer, and she lives in this kingdom of Carthia that basically, this entire society kingdom is based upon like these rare necromancers. Like, they're actually very few and far in between, and these necromancers basically raise the dead if you can afford it. And it basically is about like hierarchy, but also it's the king gets like raised from the dead every few years so that he can keep ruling. So that's kind of like a vague synopsis, but I feel like you should definitely go into this book not knowing anything. It's super complex. I think it has a lot of dark elements. I have my little notes here that I'm going to read off of. It has a lot of dark elements. Not only are we dealing with actual death on our hands from the main characters constantly bringing people back to life, and people losing people, like their friends and family. That's the main theme, but it also touches upon a lot of main themes that are interwoven in the story so well. It touches upon grief, loss, responsibility, identity, and it also touches upon addiction as well. And it just talks about grief. I like how it focused on different characters in the story to talk about grief, because each character is grieving in like a different way. And if you've read the book, you know what I'm talking about. But basically, I think the story is paced so well. Like, I remember this being one of the best paced fantasy books I've ever read. I think mainly because there was so much happening, but I was never bored throughout the story, and I never felt like it was too fast that I was losing my place in the story and that I didn't know what was happening anymore. It was just paced so nice. There was a really great arc of events that happened. It was so exciting at every turn. Overall, just a really well-paced fantasy book that I very much enjoy. It's kind of on the gory side. If you don't like reading about decapitation, flesh, and like blood, and just overall like things with teeth or scary monsters, I probably wouldn't recommend it. It is more I was actually surprised reading it again. I was like, damn, I read this when I was 17. I read it in 2017. I was like, damn, I read this when I was 17. Like, did I shit my pants? Because like I was kind of shitting my pants here. But it is definitely a little scary. I wouldn't like say horror outright, but there are some scary elements. It makes you think a lot about like humanity, like mortality, death, all those kind of philosophical things. But yeah, overall, it was just a really great reread. I think it's definitely a book where if you're looking for, it definitely had a lot of queer rep. And I really loved it for that, because it's a fantasy book and it features queer rep, which I think is and now it's up and coming, but I think in 2017 when this book came out, I think I had read not many books, fantasy books with queer rep. So I think it's a really good example of that. But I also think overall, if you just want to read like a really exciting story that will get you out of like a book slump, it's a slump killer. I would definitely recommend this book. I love it and will keep pushing it out, and I'm so excited to read the second book. I will be reading the second book right after I finish doing this, but I won't vlog it because this vlog is long enough. But I'm gonna close up the vlog here. I hope you've enjoyed me reading some beautiful books featuring bisexual main characters. I will be reading more books, more LGBTQ books in the coming month. I've also ordered so many, so I'm excited, and maybe hopefully I'll be vlogging those. If you have any recommendations for this month, please let me know down below. I'm always looking for books to buy. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I will see you guys on the next one, and I hope you enjoyed my vlog. Bye!